Hi, I'm Chris Velardi, class of '95, and I am a news anchor in Connecticut at WTNH, which is News 8.
Awesome. So you studied broadcast, yes?
Broadcast journalism.
And was that always the dream to get to Connecticut to do the news, or what was your plan?
I was like, 95% of the students then who come to Newhouse and now who come to Newhouse who want to be Bob Costas, Mike Tirico, Sean McDonough, Marv Albert, the list goes on and on and on. I was that guy too. But, I also got out into the world and realized that there are only a small but growing handful of those guys, and there are a lot more jobs in news, and I like news too, and so kind of moved in that direction. But TV, yeah, I always knew that.
So we're sort of walking down memory lane today, in that we are inside the new and improved WJPZ radio studios inside Watson Hall. What did WJPZ do for your career? Describe what this station means to you.
Yeah, first of all, let me say I don't recognize any of this stuff because this is amazing. What the guys who are here now have is just top of the line, fantastic, and there's a lot of jealousy I think that's going on right now. But WJPZ was home for me when I was a student here. I came my first semester and was trying to figure it all out. I'm a kid from Connecticut at this big school that has big dreams but doesn't really know how to go about finding them. When I found the radio station, I found people who had the same ideas and same kind of dreams, and were all kind of in it together, and it just became my family here. It was amazing.
And how did it help in terms of your career? I know, like, the WJPZ Alumni Network is almost second to none when it comes to helping make those connections. So was that the case for you? Or?
Yeah, I think that there was the idea that I knew that no matter what kind of question I had to pick up a phone or send an email or whatever it was, and I could always find someone who could answer that question or give me some advice or give me some positive reinforcement, kind of push me in the right direction and help me out. And I think that has been, more than anything else, the most helpful thing. We're all looking out for each other in terms of, hey, I heard, somebody doesn't have a job and maybe there's something here for them, or maybe I know somebody who works here who used to work there, and, that kind of networking and that kind of connections, that's always there. But I think to me what's even more valuable is just that idea that I know that if I'm struggling through something, there's somebody who gets it, who's a phone call or an email or a tweet away.
When you were here, you did not study social media as it relates to news.
If you had said social media, I would have said, I'm social on the radio. I don't know what you're talking about.
How has, Twitter changed your job, the Facebook page that you maintain for News 8? What's that like for you, and what should students know about, getting that type of media?
There are kind of two things. The ones that are my Twitter accounts and my Facebook page, I don't try to be a broadcaster on those pages. I just try to be me, because I think what it does is it breaks down that wall between people who are watching television and people who are on television. And that connection, I think, is really valuable. And so I see it that way. I see it as a tool to have conversations with people about the news, about things that aren't necessarily in the news, but just it makes them understand me, it makes me understand the audience a little bit better. And then in terms of the Facebook page for the morning show that I also run, it's a little different. I mean, that's a little more kind of a different level of professionalism, a different level of, that's more of a broadcasting kind of tease tool, hey, watch this, or hey, what do you think about this? Not as personal, but it still breaks down that wall. It's still a connection between the viewers and us.
In terms of the challenges of this job, A would be hours, likely, right? Family time, things of that nature.
Yeah.
And B, probably some of the stories you cover. I know, Newtown comes to mind, and some of the real difficult stories. How do you deal with those challenges, both the hours and then those stories that make you think, gosh, who are these people in this world?
The hours, you never get used to getting up at 2:30 in the morning. And I have a 5 and an 8-year-old, and the wonderful thing is that I'm home, I get him off the bus, I'm there for dinner, I get him to swim practice, to whatever it is. That's fantastic. That I can't beat that. But, when it gets to be 7, 8 o'clock at night, all I want to do is go to bed, and sometimes that may be a few hours away still. So that you do it, and I don't know how you do it. A lot of coffee and a few naps where you can.
Yeah.
In terms of the other, I was on the air. I was off the day of what happened in Newtown, of those shootings, and part of the news business is, you may be off, but if something's going on, you may suddenly be on. So I went into work that day, wound up working a 10-hour day, was anchoring kind of live, nonstop coverage from 7:30 till 11:30 at night that night. And that was something that you can't prepare for. That was something where the reality of what had happened was starting to sink in. It wasn't breaking news anymore. It wasn't information-based. It was more of a 4-hour therapy session for the audience. And that's what I heard afterwards. And that's what I heard during the broadcast on social media, is that people just wanted a place to come together to feel. And that's what I was doing, and my co-anchor was doing. And as a parent of kids who were right in that age group, it was the hardest night of television I have ever done and could ever imagine doing. Just holding it together was almost impossible.
Your last piece of advice then for students as they look ahead to these new challenges, this world where, maybe you're going to have a YouTube channel, or you'll be on TV, or you'll do both, or what do you say to them, leaving school? Is it an exciting time? Is it a petrifying time? Is it both?
Probably both. My daughter actually made up a word for a swim meet that she had to do, that she was nerve-sighted. And I think that's what it is. It's, you're nervous, but you're excited. There's so many possibilities. And that's how it was, there's always possibilities, but I guess it's just different depending on when in the world it is. And right now, the best thing that any students can do is just to try to dabble in everything to some degree, because you never know exactly where the focus may take you. And I think that's exciting. I think it can also be overwhelming.
So we call that nerve-sighted.
Nerve-sighted, exactly.
Love it. Awesome. Chris Velardi, class of '95. Thanks so much, Chris.
You bet.